Josh, how are you and how is Jim, your dog?
I'm great, and Jim's also great. Yeah, he's my first dog that I've ever had, and I didn't know how it was gonna go. I didn't, I've never had to be responsible for. Well, that's not true. I've had cats before, but I think dogs are a different thing. But I think he's changed my life in a way. So.
Aw. How is he doing with you being home more often?
I think that now he just expects it, and anytime I leave, he actually knows how to like jump up and like open a if it's like a lever door, he can open it, even if it's a pull door. So sometimes I'll leave or I'll walk outside or something, and then the next thing I know, he's there with me. And so yeah, I think it's just kind of made him expect me to be around pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I
But
find that animals just all around have gotten so needy over the last year. Like my two cats, they're just meowing more than ever and screaming
yeah,
at me to get them stuff. I see you've
yeah.
also been boxing in the last little bit here. Is that not like the most fun workout ever?
Well, yeah, it totally is. I probably started doing it like 5 years ago, and I've especially found it important for me when especially when we're not on tour.
Mhm.
And I've tried to find things that can sort of replicate what it's like playing drums, and I've never found anything as close um, other than boxing. And it comes close. It's not the same thing, but there's a lot about it that's pretty rhythmic, and there's timing and percussive and sound. Also, kind of hits a lot of the same like parts of my body that drumming does. So it kind of just I just my goal is that I can just continue to get older and older and still be able to pull off playing our show, and that will change and evolve over time. But if I can do my best to prolong my sort of aging and fatiguing, then I think that's ideal.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an interesting comparison between the two. Do you ever think that you would do an actual fight? Maybe pull a Logan Paul and fight Mayweather one
um,
day? Or
oh man, I would never fight Mayweather. I think that's a bad decision. But that was never my intention. It was kind of something that I started to do to really just kind of be able to stay in shape for the show.
Mhm.
And then I realized that it was also kind of just like a very cathartic and therapeutic exercise, much like drumming. I think that drumming has also in some ways saved my life. And yeah, I kind of quickly became addicted to boxing, and it's something that I love to do. I've never, yeah, I never did it to, with the intention of doing a fight, but I do some very seldomly. I have the thought where I'm just like, I've been doing this for a while, and all this kind of like work and training 2 or 3 days a week. Maybe maybe it would be fun to do something like that at some point. So I'm not going to say no, but I also, just so we're all clear, that was never my intention, was to just train to specifically for a fight, but
Yeah.
could be fun.
Let's talk about music now. Your new single, Shy Away, we've been playing it on the station. And I just want to thank you for just making the job at the music department very easy because we get one of your new songs and we listen to a minute of it. We're like, obviously, we're just going to add it. This is such a jam. So thank you for doing
Oh,
that over the years. We just love your music here on the station. It's really become a staple.
wow, thank you, man. That means a lot.
Don't you shy away. Manifest to seal it when you shy away.
I'm assuming that most artists put out music that they like to listen to, but I know that growing up, Tyler and I would encounter people in certain, types of bands of different genres, and a lot of times just be like, "What's your favorite band or bands?" And they never listen to the kind of music that they put out,
Yeah.
which was really always odd to me. And I feel like all the bands that I really looked up to my knowledge, is kind of would write and put out music that they liked,
Mhm.
or by artists that they liked, and so that's just always how we've how we've structured it. It's just like, let's write music that we're fans of and that we would listen to, in the car or put on a flight or something. And I think that's why I'm a fan of my band. Because
That's
I
a
like
good
our
thing.
music.
You should be a fan of
Um,
what you do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I enjoy listening to our music, and that sounds weird,
Great.
but thank you for saying that. That does mean a lot.
You're very welcome. Your new album, Scaled and Icy, is coming out May 21st, and I'm so intrigued to see what this live experience is because, I mean, a lot of us are really used to just watching a Zoom concert, and it kind of feels disconnected. But from what I'm hearing, it's like a full-on immersive experience. Can you kind of give us a little, insight of what we could expect from it?
This is we've never done anything really like this, and so I personally am scared to hype it up because we know what has worked for us in the past, what people like, and so just really changing the format, I hope people like. I don't want to hype it up too much until then. Once I can see that people like it, then I'll just be like, yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
sweet.
great.
This is great. This is sweet. I told you. No, but yeah, I mean, when you on an audience so much and people physically being in the same room for a show, it definitely makes it challenging when you lose that. And I've said that's like removing just a very integral band member, pretty much. So we kind of had to figure out a way to make something work, despite the fact that this very important band member is in some ways missing, at least from the room. I think it is going to be a bit of a different experience, just because we never anticipated doing anything like this. So Tyler and I still love albums, and the idea of like purchasing an album, it feels like it's going away. But I think kind of like releasing those things hand in hand just felt really, really cool and exciting to us. And so, yeah, if you buy a ticket, then, a product that you get with it is the album. So after some, a lot of conversations and a lot of, Zoom meetings talking about it, I think we've kind of landed on something that feels cool and feels exciting. And so I hope that people like it.
Yeah, I think it is really challenging right now to just find a way to make it engaging and have that same connection that you do live. I mean, you too, as a band, like I remember seeing you in Seattle and you put your drum kit over top of the audience so you could feel the energy of the audience. Like clearly this is something that is so important to you. But I mean, I was just looking at the live, like people getting ready for Choker to be released and just looking at the comments, and people are engaging with each other, and there still is that feeling of like you're waiting outside of a show, you're getting ready for something, you've been kind of looking forward to it. So I think you have done a really good job, even though it hasn't really, we haven't got there yet to the full live experience. It's already starting to feel like there is a connection there. So I think you've done a good job.
Well, thank you. That's cool. And thanks for, going and looking at that stuff and, being a part of it too. I think that's cool. It feels good to talk to you about that.
Yeah, it's really fun to see how artists have been able to kind of shift and go into this weird time and get extra creative. And I think it has brought some really cool things. And though it's only online and through, the computer screen, I think it has kind of opened up a really cool kind of creative other side of music too. So congratulations on this big release. Thank you so much for taking the time in this like marathon of interviews that you're doing. Again, the album Scaled and Icy comes out May 21st, and that comes with that live performance.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Bye.